9 Republican presidential candidates squared off tonight in a debate hosted by Fox News and Google in Orlando, Florida. According to the latest Suffolk University poll, Mitt Romney is in the lead, with Ron Paul in second place at 14%. Joining me now is my friend and colleague, Fox News political analyst Juan Williams, author of Muzzled, The Assault on Honest Debate. You know we'll have honest debate here, my friend.
There you go.
All right, now, you got to tell me what you think of this headline in something called the Daily Caller. Quote, poll, Romney leads New Hampshire, Huntsman third, Perry fourth. Now, do they know how to count? Why would they omit saying who was in second?
Well, you know why? Ron Paul.
But is there a media bias against him? Just from the media's point of view, isn't he good for the media because he challenges Republican orthodoxy and causes debate and generates and stimulates the discussion about ideas that the other Republicans don't want to talk about?
Well, that's right. And it's because the other Republicans don't want to talk about it. It's because he is such an extraordinary candidate that the mainstream media doesn't pay attention. They don't believe that Ron Paul, with his libertarian bent, could actually be the GOP nominee. To the contrary, every time Ron Paul comes out, attracts huge crowds, gets numbers that are sufficient in the polls to say this could be your Republican nominee, there's a base of Republicans, but especially the mainstream media, that refuse to acknowledge. It's like he's standing in front of them and they say, I don't believe it. Don't believe it, not credible. I'm going to rub my eyes and see if I can. Oh, he's still there? Yeah, but who's first, who's third?
Is it a rejection of what he believes in? Is it just a perception that these numbers that we're seeing are not accurate and can't last?
Well, you know, part of the problem is that if you look at conventional mainstream Republican ideology, it's not isolationist. So some of the key issues that have erupted during our age, weapons of mass destruction, Iraq, Afghanistan, pursuit of Osama bin Laden, foreign aid, Israel, popped up this very week.
Right.
On all these fronts, what you hear for Ron Paul is contrary to Republican orthodoxy.
Okay,
Judge.
but you would agree with me, and obviously disagree if you feel inclined. The key issue is the economy.
Right.
No one has been stronger on what has caused these problems. No one has been more consistent. No one has done more to bring the Federal Reserve and money printing and central planning of economic activity into focus than Ron Paul. Is it possible Republicans and independents are recognizing that?
No, they're not recognizing it yet. And again, you know, what strikes me about this is I think Ron Paul is the father of the Tea Party, and in large part because of his criticism of U.S. economic policy and printing money, you know, willy-nilly, and saying that we are, in fact, out of control and we need to get back into some kind of very hard basis for currency. This is all Ron Paul. Okay. And saying spending is out of control and taxation is too much, and he's been back and forth with Perry in this debate and others about this issue. So here's what we know. In fact, he is, as you just described him, prescient when it comes to American economic problems, and yet people see him as, well, gee, that's Ron Paul. He's kind of, you know, curly-minded or curly-haired or whatever.
Last question. Can Mitt Romney shake off Romney Care? Can Rick Perry shake off something I believe in, but I'm not running for president?
Right.
That Social Security is a Ponzi scheme.
Nope, in neither case. And it will stick to them because negatives stick to politicians. You remember negative ads much more than you remember people's accomplishments. The Ponzi scheme one is a problem, and I'll tell you why. I don't know exactly why you agree with it, because there's nothing illegal about Social Security.
But the Ponzi scheme one resonates with a lot of conservative Republicans. The Romney Care doesn't resonate with any conservative Republicans.
Right, but health care as an issue resonates with independents, and so he can argue, you know what, once I get through this primary process, I can say I care about this issue. That does have some positives to it, but not many in an age when it's overwhelming. Republicans condemn Obamacare.
Too late for Sarah Palin or Chris Christie, or not quite too late yet?
Not quite yet, although the numbers are overwhelming. People don't want, Republicans I'm talking about, because that's who, this is a Republican contest. Republicans don't want Palin, and Republicans are salivating, Judge, at the idea that Chris Christie might come in today.
They still want him.
Yeah, because the numbers, and after Perry first came in, oh yeah, we're satisfied with the field. His debate performance is in. Now they're back to just about half saying, I wish somebody else was in this field.
Very interesting one. Always a pleasure.
Good to see you, Judge.
Joining us. It's a masquerade of a century-old